Hello and welcome to a Blackwood Engage test stream. I don't know if anyone can actually hear me. Hello Mark Ireland, and good evening, and how are you, sir, on this Saturday evening? So Mark, you'll have to be the guinea pig. Can you actually hear me? Loud and clear. Hello Scotty Dog, and hello Pride of Pendle. So this is, as you probably guessed, is the first time I've tried to live stream. I thought I couldn't live stream because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but I was on a stream last night. I was watching Minnie with Staston Junction, who only has, I think, 200 or 300 subscribers, and Rachel actually told us how you can live stream. So really this is a test to see whether or not it actually works, and certainly it does work. So all I'm doing, I've got a couple of trains running around the layout. The camera, or it's my phone camera, is sitting up on top of the viaduct, just watching the trains coming through, and I'm looking at everything on my laptop at the moment. Mark says there's a faint buzz in the background. I'm not quite sure what that faint buzz actually is. It could be I don't know whether it's the Class 33. The Class 33 does make a bit of a buzz. Mark Allen says, "You're braver than me than attempting a live stream." Yes, I'm probably foolish attempting a live stream because everything that can possibly go wrong probably will go wrong. But I just want to see whether or not this could actually work, and obviously it does work. So what's everyone been up to today? It's been pretty warm here in the west of Scotland, and I've spent most of today, in fact I spent all of today out in the garden on this major project to create a space in the back garden for a new home for this layout. The layout is obviously at the moment is in a spare bedroom, but we really could do with this spare bedroom back, because I'm obviously currently working from home, and even when the COVID situation improves, I will probably still continue to work from home, so this will probably become my office. So I'm looking for, or trying to build a purpose-built building in the back garden. But before I can do that, I have to move a hell of a lot of stuff. So I spent the first 2 hours of today stuck in a queue at B&Q. Great way to start off a Saturday. So Scotty Dog says you can hear the trains but you can't hear me. All right. Okay, I've come closer to the actual phone. Can you actually hear me closer now? Now that I'm closer to the phone. Mark Ireland says, very warm here in Somerset. Yes, I think it's been warm over the whole of the UK today, but I think weather's going to turn probably tonight. I think it's going to be a bit colder up here in Scotland tomorrow. Hello James Martin, how are you? Scottish Dog says he's shy. Scottish Dog says you come and go. I wonder if that's possibly if I move away from the phone, because the phone I presume is picking up my speech rather than the laptop that I have in front of me. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get some other trains running, so if you can bear with me for 1 minute, I'll see if I can get something else on the go. Mark Aaron says, bad planning there, Ewan. Surely you should have an office with the layout in it. Yes, you might actually be right there. And Scotty Dog says, hi, nice to hear another jock voice. Yes, my dulcet west of Scotland tones. But anyway, I'm going to see whether or not I can get something else running. Hello, Class 56 XX Leo, hello. I hope you're well tonight. Okay, let's see whether or not we can get the Voyager working. I think I'll need to sack the signalman there as we set the points the wrong way. Sorry about that, guys. I think that's the Voyager is now on the right track. Okay, so Pride of Pendle, how long have you been building Blackwood and is it set in the west of Scotland? I started building this layout in 2008, so it's been 12 years in the making. It's not set in any part of the country, it's entirely fictitious. My main aim was to try and build something sort of junctions approaching a main big station. That was the sort of the main aim behind the layout, and I think I probably achieved it. The other thing that I probably wanted to do was show what you can actually do in Engage. I mean, my first train set was when I was aged 9, which was the Triangle Hornby Freight Master, which was a class 31 and 7 goods wagons, which you'd never get nowadays in a train set. And I had a fully working double O gauge train set in my mum and dad's house. As I say, I moved to N-gauge simply because double O gauge, you need a huge amount of space to run realistic length trains. N-gauge, this layout basically measures just over 8 foot long by 6.5 foot wide, so it's not massive, but you can just about get away with running full scale length trains. The only scale length trains that you might struggle with are things like Freightliners, so things like that, where you might have to run a slightly shortened actual train formation. So, and hello Norman Rowe, thanks very much for your comments, very kind of you. I see Rachel has joined us. So Rachel, this is really down to you, because you obviously last night explained how you were able to actually live stream. So this is me basically trying it out. Hello Gary. So Gary says, great effort, thanks for hosting. I'm a novice to N-gauge and just starting out. Well Gary, this is what you can, this is what you can achieve. Now I will be honest with you, this is not the first go I've had at this. The actual layout, I should say, is actually built on 4 separate boards. All these boards actually do come apart, and the reason they all come apart is because there is a loft hatch in here, and obviously I need access to the loft. So each of the boards has basically been built or rebuilt twice in the last 12 years. And it's just as I've got more and more back into the hobby, because I did have a break from a double O gauge layout for the best part of 20 years. And when I came back in, a lot of things had changed. When I first went into double O gauge, there was no such thing as static grass and all the other great things that you get nowadays. So, as I say, it was a learning curve, and as I learned and saw other people's channels, because it's all the people that on here, that's where we learn from. We see things that other people are doing. So it's a great community. So we've got, I see, 8 people, which is not bad, given this is the first time I've ever streamed. And I'm not, oh sorry, we're up to 10. Now I hope I haven't missed anybody, because obviously when I was in the centre of the layout, obviously getting the Voyager working, it would appear that you won't pick my voice up, and I can't see the comments. That's the unfortunate thing. So running round the layout at the moment is a Class 25, which is running light engine. Then there is a Voyager Class 220 in Virgin Trains livery. And round the outside loop we have got a Class 33, which is pulling some fertiliser bogie wagons. So Rachel, I take it you'll have been very, very busy today. It was a good stream you did last night, showing off obviously your Engage layout. So Pride of Pendle started in Engage, but eyesight made you go back to double O, and you're now drilling over O gauge. Yeah, O gauge has clearly come down in price. Clearly gone down in price. I mean, a number of years ago, unless you were really, really well heeled, you probably wouldn't have gone for O gauge. The cost of a locomotive, even a very, very small locomotive, would be running to hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So Scotty Dog says, a long train please. Now I'll need to go in and have a look in the fiddle yard and see what's sitting in the fiddle yard, and see if I can bring something out to that. Fiddle yard 2. Okay, Scotty Dog, if you can hear me, working out Class 31, slightly longer train with the tip hook VTG wagons on it. Pride of Pendle, how big is the stock collection? That's a good question. Now, it is pretty extensive. I will say that. I've never actually added up all the locals. I'm probably talking about somewhere in the region of around between 40 and 50 locals. Coaching stock, I don't actually have huge amounts of coaching stock. I've got one rake of Mark 1s and I've got one rake of Mark 2As, and I've got an HST along with various DMUs, class 108, 101, and I have a class 156 which is in ScotRail livery. So quite a lot of locomotives, yes. So yeah, and just like in the real railway, they do take a huge amount of time to keep them in working order. It's amazing, even though I keep the track clean here, every week I clean it, it's amazing how that they still pick up dirt. So that's maybe one of the disadvantages of having a lot of quite complicated point work. But touch wood, it does work pretty reliably. Yes, Rachel, yeah, you're right there. It is a great hobby, but it can be expensive. When I think of the cost of some of these wagons and trains from 12 years ago, an N-gauge locomotive, whether it was from Dapol or from Farish, you would get change out of £100, but now it's you're lucky to get change out of £100, so it is quite expensive. So I see I'm now up to 16. So I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to actually have a look at this. As I said at the beginning, this is just a test. Never done a live stream in my life before, and obviously it's coming off my phone. So unfortunately I can't move the phone. The phone is actually sitting up on one of the road bridges, perched up with a Oxford die-cast plastic cover and a paint pot to stop it from falling down. So I daren't touch it. Norman wrote, the notification popped up, so I thought I'd crash the party. You're more than welcome, Norman. You're more than welcome. Well, Rachel, if that was only your second one last night, you were actually quite professional at it. I thought you'd done quite I thought you'd done quite a few live streams, so yeah, you were really, really professional in what you did last night. It was really, really good. So Gary's planning a small portable layout, 6 foot by 4 foot. Well, if it's 6 foot by 4 foot in N-gauge, you will be surprised at the amount of track that you'll be able to squeeze in on a 6 foot by 4 foot. This layout's not all that much bigger. This layout's basically just over 8, I think it's 8 foot 2 inches by 6 foot 6. Yeah, you'll be quite amazed at the amount of track and N-gauge that you'll get in. So Scotty Dog says, nice train. I take it, is that the class 31 you're referring to? Mark Island says, I bet a 6 foot 4 layout does not stay that size. That's quite right, Mark, it won't. This layout, now the board that the camera is currently looking at, when the board was originally built, it was 6 foot long by 18 inches wide. And it is now 6.5 feet long by 2 foot 2 inches wide. I have added, I think, 2 extensions on down the side. Hi, Stuart Muir. Mark Ireland. Mark Ireland of Piddle in the Marsh. I absolutely love that name for a layout. Piddle in the Marsh. Absolutely fantastic name, mate. I was actually watching one of your videos earlier on tonight after I'd had something to eat after my efforts in the garden, and it jumped up on my tablet, so I was actually watching one of your videos. So Piddle in the Marsh is now 8 foot by 6.5. So Piddle in the Marsh is roughly about the same size as this one. VSC, hi Growler, great to meet you. I have a funny idea, I know who VSC is. I think VSC might be sitting downstairs and goes by the name of Valerie, being my wife. Pride of Pendle. Mrs. Growler. She'll like that. Yes, Norman, the section that Piddle just added is great. Yeah, that's the station he added down one side of the layout. It's given them, I think, more scope for operations. I'll tell you one thing, doing a live stream, the time really runs away quite quickly, because I see that is almost 30 minutes that I've been blethering away up here. Scotty Dog says, oh dear, you're a bad man, now I'm going to buy steel carriers. And Piddle in the Marsh has just got another sub from James Martin. And that's what it's all about. Gary says, nice buildings on the right. Yeah, they're actually Metcalf kits. A lot of the buildings on the layout are Metcalf kits. The one thing I do like about Metcalf kits is they're brilliant for kit bashing, simply because they are modular. So over the years I have kit bashed quite a lot of the buildings. So that is really the brewery kit that you're seeing on the right hand side. On the left hand side, the concrete plant, that is actually a Walters kit. I actually picked up there used to be a model shop in Glasgow called Pastimes, which closed down last year because the owners retired, and they had a great selection of second-hand stock, and I actually found bits of the kit in Pastimes and then went online and actually found the actual kit, so I bought the actual kit. Rachel, you were on for 2 hours 20 minutes. I don't think I'll be doing 2 hours 20 minutes tonight. This, as I said, was just a test. Bye Norman, take care. Thanks for tuning in for half an hour or so. So Pride of Pendle, which era do you prefer? It's mostly probably the early 80s into the 90s, but it does come right up to the present day. The layout is not specific to one particular era. If I like a locomotive, I might purchase the locomotive. I should probably almost catalogue the locomotives. so that I could basically have nothing but the sort of BR blue running, which would be quite possible, and then I could probably take all those off and have maybe large local liveries, which are obviously a bit later on. So I now see where we were up to 19. So if anybody, because I can't see all the comments, so if anybody I haven't said hello to, please accept my apologies. It's just that there's doing this for the first time, trying to read and trying to get the trains going is actually it's actually quite difficult. Okay, so I see that I'm just over, nearly come up to almost 32 minutes. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'll get something else running on the layout. And good evening, Piccadilly Model Railway. Good evening, John. I am honoured to have such an esteemed member of the Engage profession on this stream. I hope you're well, John. So Piccadilly, this is really just a test. This is the first time I've ever done a live stream, and I'm really just testing. And I see we've had a slight issue in that we've now dropped a coach, and the Class 86 is pushing a coach. So bear with me till I go and fix that. Amazing TMD, good evening to you. So John, what have you been doing? Has it been Piccadilly or is it Piccadilly sidings you've been working on today? Bognor Regis, good evening to you. So I've, good night Scotty Dog, take care and many thanks for watching. So I've sorted that problem with the Class 86, it's no longer pushing as well as pulling coaches. Mark Island, thanks mate. So John, Piccadilly, you've done a second video for the Hunt couplings. I've managed to get my hands on Hunt couplings, so they are ordered. So I will be waiting for these, hopefully will arrive next week. And I'll put them onto the HST, the East Coast HST. So Bognor Regis has been trying to edit your first video. Yeah, I don't have all the technology to edit. I mean, people like John at Piccadilly and quite a few other people who are in tonight. I take my hat off to you guys and girls. I mean, it's fantastic, the videos that you put out. As I say, obviously I have a full-time job and very often I'm filming late on at night, quite tired, so to sit, and I'm sitting at a computer all day, so really the last thing I'm wanting to do is sit at a computer late at night. So the videos are really more just a kind of showcase of what you can do. I think I actually did my first sort of almost review in my last video, which was the Hatton's oil spill kit, which seems to have actually had, it's actually, according to the analytics, it's actually the most popular video that I've actually ever done. I have found, when everybody's talking about the Hunt couplings, I did come across a website yesterday, I think it's GLR Services, who seem to do the same type of couplings, but I think they're about £1 dearer. Scotty Dog, oops, you seem to have had a minor technical hitch. So, is the stream, can I ask all you guys out there, is the stream still coming through? Because I see the comments are still coming up. So I'm making the assumption that you can still hear me and you can still see the trains running. Thanks Rachel. Pride of Pendle, yep, brilliant. And James Martin. Thanks. I'm actually just wondering, Mr. Piccadilly, whether you're going to go and do a live stream. I'm sure you'd have far more people watching your live stream than watching mine. I think you might have to go some to catch up with New Junction, who I think the last time they did a live stream or a premiere had about 400 people. So I can't tempt John into doing a live stream. I think you'd be quite good at a live stream, John. So Bogdan Regis, so the picture quality is alright, the sound could be a little better. Well, the sound has to be coming off my phone, so it may be that if I'm not close to the phone, you may be missing some of the sound. Paul Hind, evening to you. Okay, I think what I'll do is I think I'll start the Network Rail 37. Thanks, Bogdan Regis. I'm probably mad doing a live stream. Just bear with me, I think I need to clean up a little bit of track. Yes, the 37 is John Tilley. With a large logo 37 tailing it up. See, it now has stopped. Yeah, the Network Rail 37, it obviously has got the Gauge Master track cleaner in the middle of it. So Pride of Pedro says, keep going, you're painting double O figures while watching the 37s. So hi, Sky Skillman, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Hi to you. So Bognor Regis, I'm just using my mobile to video. It looks okay for me, but you don't have a stand. When I get my video out, you'll see I use milk crates stacked up in each other when I appear in front of the camera. Well, if it works. Ah, it's MotoP Killman. That's, you see, that's somebody from the west of Scotland who has great difficulty in speaking. Ah, Yorkshire, lovely part of the country. Quite often go down to York. It's got an excellent model shop down in Goodrum Gate in York. Yeah, I've not been to York for a couple of years now. We used to get a good deal. You could actually do a journey to York and back in a day. You had to leave in my own home here around about 5:30 in the morning, but you can get a great deal on the trains by split ticketing. Getting a train into Edinburgh Waverley, and then a train going down to either a cross-country train or one going into King's Cross. And you can get into York for around about 9:30 in the morning, and you have an entire day in York, and then you get the train back around about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. Pride of Pendle. Now it says Trident. I think, are you meaning Trident trains? If that's the one I'm thinking of, down round about Nantwich, that area. I've been there. It is Trident trains. Anytime my wife and I have stayed in York, we go to Trident trains, or I take my wife to Trident trains. And the other great thing is Trident Trains is in the middle of a huge antiques emporium. So if you like looking for old antiques and things, there are dozens and dozens of antique dealers. Dagfields, that's right. I couldn't remember the name. It's Dagfields, that's right. And I will say that Trident Trains is one of the best stocked model shops you will ever come across. Everything is absolutely laid out fantastically. So, Piccadilly, where in Scotland are you from? Okay, I live just outside of Glasgow. I live in a place called East Kilbride, which is Scotland's first new town. Rachel, you're very lucky, being only 5 minutes drive from Trident Trains. Gary asks, are second-hand locals worth a try for a novice? You can get some, you have to do your research, but you can get cases. There are people who, when the latest locomotive comes out, they must have it and they'll buy it, and they might run it a couple of times round their layout, put it back in the box, and then the next must have local appears, so they stick it onto eBay. So you can pick up some good second-hand locomotives. I've picked up a couple, not off of eBay, but in some model shops. There's been nothing actually wrong with them. I'll tell you the other good model shop that I do use is C&M Models in Carlisle. One of the problems living here in Scotland is nearly all the model shops have closed. There are no model shops left in Glasgow. There used to be 2 model shops in Glasgow and they've both now closed. And the only, what I would call proper model shop in Glasgow is Harborne Hobbies, which is through in Edinburgh. So if you want, and I will say Harborne Hobbies do carry a huge variety of stock, but they've almost got the entire market cornered. And I do sometimes go down to Carlisle and I go to C&M Models. And they are excellent. The gentleman there is really, really good, and it's a tiny, tiny wee shop. It's a minute shop, but it's absolutely jam-packed, and you do get some good bargains on Engage. If you watch his website, and if you're lucky enough to be close, if you're able to go into the shop every other week, if you're stayed down there, he does have some good Engage bargains. So how are we doing? So we're up to actually 20 people in the live stream. I am honoured. Thank you all very much for taking time out on a Saturday evening. How are we doing time wise? We're coming up to 52 minutes. I think what I'll do is I'll let this run for another few minutes because we're nearly coming up to the hour. And then I'll stop it. Thank you, Rachel. Yep, hit that like button. I think I've Paul. I think I've been to Rails of Sheffield once. My wife and I were on a holiday down south, and I managed to steer the drive into Sheffield, and I went to Rails of Sheffield. So I think I've been to Rails of Sheffield just once. And here's another Engage veteran. Maybe I shouldn't call him a veteran. Hello, Mr. Elvenholm, or Mr. Humphrey, should I say. Good evening. You did catch me last night trying out this live test, but obviously I wasn't doing everything correctly, because what most people saw for a couple of minutes were my slippers and no trains. Hello, Brummy Dan. Good evening. And Anfield Road layout in the loft. Yes, Stephen, my slippers, they were very fetching, yes. So what's happening on Elvenholm? What are you been up to over the last few days, Stephen? Any more scratch building? If anybody has never or doesn't subscribe to Elvenholm, I would suggest to check Elvenholm out. Fantastic Engage layout, and Stephen is a prolific scratch builder. It's not something that I could do. I can kit bash, but I would never have the knowledge to scratch build as Stephen does. Hi, Brummy Dan. Ah, that's right, your last video, you were going to, the stone engine shed, Stephen, yep, having a, yep, totally agree with you there, Stephen. The Metcalf kits, they do lend themselves, because they're modular, they really do lend themselves. Good evening, Paul. Good evenings from Wickford. Yes, I watched your latest offering while I was having my evening meal with your HSTs, one in traditional BR livery and the other one GWR livery. Absolutely fantastic. Again, if nobody has ever visited Paul's web channel, take a look at it. Puts up a video usually every week, and he must have a huge number of engaged locals, because I don't think I can ever say that I've seen two locals the same. Piccadilly, I think I should give scratch building a go. Well, I suppose I did do one wee bit of scratch building. It's not really, I can't really show it, but it's on the platform that I added in at Blackwood Station, and I decided to build a lift tower and a bridge that runs from street level, so that the post office can come in at street level, take the mail through the bridge, which is enclosed, to what would be a lift, and then the lift comes down onto the platform. That's the extent of my scratch building. Is there any chance you give that BR Blue Class 20 a quick run? Yes, I most certainly can, although I will have to move a number of locals about, if you just bear with me. Okay, a few technical difficulties in that I've got a short somewhere. When I was moving that class 20, I have managed to move something that has shorted out. So that's why the two outer circuits have actually stopped at the moment. So what I'm actually going to do, because I've been on for just over an hour, so what I will do is I'll actually end this test stream. I'd like to thank everybody that's actually taken the time to take the trouble to actually come on to the live stream and watch these trains going over and going round. So I need to go and figure out what it is that has caused the short. It'll be something very, very simple. I think I know what it might be. I had to move or to loop the class 33, and I think it's actually fouling a point, one of the electrofrog points. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and I've really enjoyed this and might well do it again. So what I'm going to do is I'll just end the live stream right now. Cheers, thanks everyone.